So what are the standard options on a Tesla Model 3, the 2024? I bought my first Tesla, my first EV ever, a few weeks ago. And I got to thinking, you know, what really was standard on this car when I bought it? Because I really didn't know a lot about the Tesla other than the different drivetrains, I guess, and colors. That was about it. So what did I get? This is really a pretty base Tesla. Now, what I have, it is a 2024. It is in the blue color, which was an upgrade, and it is rear-wheel drive. So, standard on a Tesla for 2024, heated and ventilated seats. I've used them a couple of times, the ventilated, not the heated. I live in deep South Texas where, you know, right now it's like over 90 degrees and very humid, and it's like 10:30 in the morning. So you can imagine not much calling for heated seats, but the ventilated seats are pretty nice. Although I do admit, it gives you kind of a wet feeling when you're sitting in those seats. It's kind of weird, at least me. It always feels like you're sitting in moisture. I don't know what it is. I guess it's the sensation of the cool air when you're sitting on it. It's just kind of strange. Still refreshing, but kind of strange. I've never really had ventilated seats before. Next up, you get navigation. Now, navigation is pretty cool, and one of the standard features in it is to be able to find charging stations that are near you. I get why Tesla put it in. Obviously, they want to give you the ability to charge up the car, but there's a little hiccup with the navigation. When I first got it, of course, Tesla includes all of the options, packages and things that you have to pay for later on, right? And I'm pretty cheap. I don't want to pay for any of those things, but I do like some of the features that they offer. So anyway, with the navigation, you have just a standard screen, I guess, which is kind of like a cartoony kind of view of the road and what's around you and other vehicles and stuff like that. And then you have the satellite view, which shows you actual buildings and streets. You're all familiar with Google Maps, you know, the satellite view. It's the same kind of thing. But the problem is when that trial period is over, you lose the satellite view feature, which I find to be very handy. And honestly, if I was traveling around more than I do, I think I would probably pay for that option. It's included in a package that has other things, I think, and it's about $100 a year. But you know, if you're traveling a lot, it would come in pretty darn handy, I think. I do miss it even just around the local area here. Next up is their autopilot, they call it, semi-autonomous driving system. Now, as I mentioned, when you first get the Tesla, they're going to throw everything at you, right? You've got the fully autonomous system, as much as it is, to try out. They give you a 30-day period, which, by the way, I think they probably ought to give you a little bit more than that. 30 days is pretty much just getting your feet wet with the new Tesla, right? Nonetheless, they give you 30 days and then they cut it off. And I have to say, my only experience with that fully autonomous system was I accidentally pushed the roller ball over on the right side of the steering wheel and I activated it. And I wasn't really familiar with it enough to know even what the heck it was doing. It started driving me through my subdivision and I'm not sure where it would have taken me. I hadn't plugged in any destination or anything, so it was kind of a strange feeling. I turned it off shortly thereafter, and like I mentioned, 30 days was really not long enough. I didn't even have an opportunity to really test it. I will be playing with the semi-autonomous system. That's where when you're on, say, a freeway or some way, I guess, you're driving along and you have to touch the wheel every now and then or it will wake you up, I guess. But that would be good for long distance trips, I guess. But the autonomous system, I don't know. I don't know if I could fully put my faith in any system where I'm not somewhat in control of the car. Now, I mentioned there are other options. You can get rear wheel drive or all wheel drive, which is two motors. in the new Tesla. The difference really, I think, is fuel economy, or range, I guess, a better way to put it. You get more range if you go with the two motors. Power, speed, acceleration. The 0 to 60 time with the two motors versus just the rear wheel drive that I have is significantly, I think, better. However, the rear wheel drive certainly gives you enough oomph, enough acceleration that I don't think you're going to miss it. Is it worth the extra money? You know, if you've got a few thousand laying around, I guess, and you just want to give it to Tesla, I suppose so. But otherwise, I think the car is quick enough the way that it is, in a rear wheel drive fashion anyway, that you really don't need to spend the extra money. Now, there is one option that I did pay for because I didn't want a Tesla that was black or white or silver or whatever. I wanted something a little more eye-catching. And there's other options in color, but you have to pay for them. What I got was blue. Now, I know there's some fancy, hipped-up name for it, but to me, it's just blue. I love the color. It has a little bit of almost purplish in it, I think, when you see it in different lighting. And it does seem to have a little bit of speckle in it, a little bit of flake. You guys hopefully can pick it out in the reflections and the lighting there. I think it's a great color for the car. The other that I really liked is that red that they have. That's a pretty sharp color too. Now, this did cost me more money. It was an option. I paid, I believe it was an extra $1,000 for that. Other than that, this car is really pretty basic. There are a few things that I've done. You may have noticed in videos. I did change the emblem in the front. I put a black overlay over it. I just think that gives it a little more aggressive look. I did not go with the license plate stick-on thing that Tesla gives you. I went with an aftermarket product that actually grabs the fins, if you will, in the air intake or ventilation in the front. Around to the back, there are a couple of extra things that I did. And unbeknownst to me, because I did it before the performance version was announced, I put a spoiler on the back. I guess the performance version comes with a carbon spoiler now, carbon fiber. I think it's a great look for the car. I went with a matte black to kind of match up with other things, like the new Tesla lettering that I put on back here. That is not standard. I removed the chrome that was here and went ahead with the black. I just think it looks, again, more aggressive on the car. I like the look better myself. Otherwise, the car is pretty much still bone stock. There's a couple of little things inside in the form of storage trays and things like that, all-weather floor mats, you know, that kind of thing. But otherwise, it is bone stock. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, kind of give you an idea of what to expect. If you're looking at a Tesla, maybe you're not familiar, like I wasn't, what a base model is, and do you really need to step up, spend those extra thousands to move up to the next level in the Model 3? And my answer to that is not really. I don't think so. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.